Today I will give you the introduction to Python Pandas. Pandas is an open source Python library providing high performance data manipulation and analysis tool using its powerful data structures. Now here this is one of the library where we can use for data analysis. Like in machine learning we can use, then we can go for the data science where we can work with the data structures like series and data frames, where we can work with the CSV files. Then we can work with Excel files where we can extract some data and we can perform some analysis. And we can add some new columns, then remove some columns, add some data, remove some data. Okay, so this is one of the library where we can work out with the analysis part, which will be used for the business applications. Now the name Pandas is derived from the word panel data and econometrics from multidimensional data. So here we can load the data into a single dimensional or in multidimensional, where we can say rows and columns concept we can load and we can perform the analysis. Now in 2008, developer Wes McKinney started developing Pandas when in need of high performance flexible tool for analysis of the data. So very fastly we need to capture the data, analyze the data, and give the end result for the required people. So keeping in that in mind, the developer Wes McKinney has been developed this Pandas. Now, Pandas is a powerful Python library that is specifically designed to work on data frames that have relational or labeled data. Now, labeled data implies every column, whatever you're having, will be holding some heading for that. The column heading, what we say, that's called labeled data. And we have the relational data where one table with some data can be related to the another data, where we say some foreign key primary key concept when you go with the purely database. And here one data frame to be connected to the other data frame also still we can do. Now its aim aligns with doing real world data analysis using Python. So when we take the real world applications, maybe if we are capturing some sensor data, still we can do some analysis. Then we are going for the gaming, still we can perform some analysis. So like this, some real world applications problems can also be solved by using this Pandas. Now its flexibility and functionality make it indispensable for various data related tasks. So there could be a number of requirements of the data, and the data could be of different categories. Still we can perform the data analysis applications on various types of data. Hence Python package works well for data manipulation, operating a data set, exploring a data frame, data analysis, and machine learning related tasks. Now these are all the responsibilities or the requirements what the Python package, what we are working with this Pandas can do. We can load the data, we can unload the data, we can store the data into some XML files in your system, or you can import some data from that and put into a data frame, and your CSV files and Excel files, JSON files will be acting as a data set. And we can apply so many functions with respect to the data science and machine learning applications. Now, Pandas operates a data frame using series and data frame. So we have two data structures here. One is series, where is a single dimensional, and the data frame is a two-dimensional, where we call it as a rows and columns. Then these two are working as a data structures. Now series works on a one-dimensional labeled array holding data of any type like integers, strings, and objects. So if you take series, we have one column, and it could be integers, it could be strings and objects. Now, if you go for this different data structure called data frame, is a two-dimensional data structure that manages and operates data in a tabular format using rows and columns. So just like a two-dimensional array, we have the rows and columns, and every column will be having some label, and we can store the values into that. Now, why pandas are required actually is one is import the data sets. Now, your CSV file with some data can be considered as a data set. Your Excel file with some data can be considered as a data set. Your JSON file with some data can be considered as a data set. If you want to import the data sets for analysis, we can use pandas, and available in the form of spreadsheets, comma separated values, files, and more like JSON files. So if you want to import these files, you can work with pandas. Now, data cleansing, dealing with missing values and representing them as not a number, not applicable, and not a time. So you have different categories of data. It could be numeric, it could be floating point values, it could be string, it could be characters, it could be Boolean value, it could be date, it could be time, and so on and so forth. Now, whenever you are trying to load with a data set, the data set may contain some missing values. Maybe it could be empty, or it could be not a number. It could be where the date and time value is not predicting, where your special characters are been existing. Now, these all things need to be removed. Okay, so that is called data cleaning. Now, size mutability, columns can be added and removed from a data frame and higher dimensional objects. So whenever we talk about data frame, I said two-dimensional, where rows and columns are existing. If you want to add a new column to the existing data frame, you can add. You want to remove an existing column, you can remove the particular column also. So you can change the size of the data frame. Now, data normalization. Normalize the data into a suitable format for analysis. Now, whenever you are performing any analysis, some data may not be in the same format as the others. And you want to normalize the data, you need to see that the format of the data of whatever is existing where you want to perform data analysis should be the same. So you need to convert the data from one format to another format. Now, that process is called as data normalization. Now, data alignment. Objects can be explicitly aligned to a set of labels. Intuitive merging and joining datasets, we can merge and join datasets. So here, whenever you see any data frame, you have the concerned columns, and each column will be having the labels. And you need to see that there could be some proper labels assigned to each and every column. And if you want to merge one dataset to the other dataset, you can merge, or you can join some columns from one dataset and some columns from the other dataset. Still, you can do. Now, reshaping and pivoting of datasets. Datasets can be reshaped and pivoted as per the need. So if you want to make the number of columns and number of rows to be increased or to be decreased, that you can do. And the transforming of the columns to rows and rows to the columns summary can be considered as a pivoted of datasets. Then efficient manipulation and extraction. Manipulation and extraction of specific parts of extensive datasets using intelligent label-based slicing, indexing, and subsetting techniques. So if you have a data frame and maybe you have 10 columns, and in that you want only 2 columns to be extracted for your analysis, then you can do based on slicing. Then you can go for indexing, like you want to perform 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, numeric indexing. Or if you want to go for naming indexing, you can do. Or you want to take only few rows and few columns, that also you can do. Take for data analysis. Statistical analysis to perform operations, statistical operations on data sets. Suppose you want to find out the mean, median, mode, maximum, minimum of a column, or if you want to go for the trigonometric operations, or you want to go for the statistical operations, standard deviation you want to find out, or on ANOVA you want to work out on the data sets, you can work out with the statistical analysis. Then data visualization, you want to work out with some graphs, because graphs explains much more than your theoretical concepts. So you want to go with the graphs, so you can go for visualize the data sets and uncover the insights. Whatever findings you want to mention, you can just show in the visualization part. You have bar graph, then scatter plots, then pie charts. Okay, so you have so many categories of visualization, then you can work out with that. Then data cleaning. Pandas provides functions to clean messy data, deal with incomplete or inconsistent data, handling missing values, remove duplicate values, standardize formats. So I need to see that there should be not any missing values. The data should be complete. There should not be any inconsistent data. There should not be empty values. There should not be duplicates. And the formats of the data should be same. So these all things comes under the data cleaning. Then data exploration. Pandas easily summarize statistics, find trends, and visualize data using built-in plotting functions, matplotlib or seaborn integration. So this matplotlib and seaborn both are used for data visualization. So whatever the data you have been extracted that you want to convert into graphs, okay, and you want to plot your data, whatever has been done, and you want to show the trend onto the graphs, then you can use this matplotlib and seaborn integration with pandas. Now, data preparation. Pandas may pivot, melt, convert variables, and merge datasets based on common columns to prepare data for analysis. So here already I was saying that you can convert the rows into columns and columns into rows. Then you can convert from one format to the other format. You want to merge with the datasets. Okay, so after doing all these things, then obviously that particular data is being prepared for data analysis. Now, data analysis Pandas supports descriptive statistics, time series analysis, group by operations, and custom. Now, these are the applications what we can, or the functionalities what we can work with the Pandas for doing the data analysis. You can write your own functions. You can go for statistical descriptive functions. You can go for the time series analysis. You can work with the group by functions where you can aggregate the values and perform the data analysis. Now, data visualization, as already said, you have the matplotlib, seaborn, then plotly to create some graphs and show to the users for better understanding. Time series analysis. Now, Pandas supports date-time indexing, resampling, frequency conversion, and rolling statistics for time series data. Now, where you get some continuous sort of data where you need to work out with the time and date indexing, where you need to see that how many times the particular data has been existing. So what sort of data we need to consider, what sort of sampling techniques we need to apply. Now, all these things can work with the time series analysis. Now, data aggregation and grouping. Pandas group by function allows you to aggregate data and compute group by summary statistics or apply functions to the groups. So a set of data has been considered and you apply the group by function and you perform some aggregate function like summation, minimum, maximum, and count sort of applications on the grouped data, and you can derive the insights from that. Data input and output. Now, Pandas makes data input and export easy by reading and writing CSV files, Excel files, JSON files, SQL database, and more. So as I said, you can import the data, you can export the data. So the data could be in various formats like CSV, comma separated values files, then Excel files, JSON files, SQL databases, from which I can import the data and also export the data to the certain files. Machine learning. Pandas works well with scikit-learn for data preparation, feature engineering, and model input data. So whenever we model any of the, whenever we are building any model, then basically we go for testing data, training data. Okay, and we need to derive some percentage of testing and training, and we need to apply some algorithms on that. So these pandas are helpful in order to work with machine learning applications. Web scraping. Now here, when you say web scraping, here we are trying to collect the data from the websites directly, and I need not go to a certain database sort of thing. The work of web scraping is trying to extract the data, relevant data from the websites. Pandas may be used with Beautiful Soap or Scrappy to libraries to parse and analyze structured web data for web scraping and data extraction. So here they are using two libraries, Web Beautiful Soap and Scrappy, to analyze and to parse the data, whatever you have collected from the websites. Financial analysis. Pandas is commonly used in finance for stock market data analysis, financial indicator calculation, and portfolio optimization. Now, these are the applications related with respect to financial analysis. The Pandas can help in order to work with financial analysis. Now, text data analysis, Pandas string manipulation, regular expressions and text mining functions help analyze textual data. So you have a lot of data in the text format and you want to just work out with the strings, and you want to work with the regular expressions. Like suppose I want to work with the email IDs. I want to just find out only the email IDs where I need to search for at the rate of domain name. Okay, then I want to just work with the sentences like words and sort of things. Then you can go for text mining analysis. Then experimental data analysis, Pandas makes manipulating and analyzing large data sets, performing statistical tests, and visualizing the results easily. Now I have a very huge data set and I want to perform some data analysis and I want to generate some data visualization graphs from that, where your data is very huge. Then I can go for experimental data analysis. So these are few applications of Pandas, and I hope I've given some input on what is the Pandas and why we need to use the Pandas and what are the applications of Pandas. So if you like this video, do subscribe, comment, and share it with friends. Thank you.